All right, so we are going to do a class on how to bring people to the Bible studies. We're going to be looking at the afternoon Bible studies and how to interest people into attending.
That's a very good question.
First of all, I would say one of the ways that will help us to bring the most amount of people is going to be from the live streams that we do. So every Sabbath we want to bring people to we want to be able to record and live stream these onto Facebook. We can do the Walks with God Ministries page, we can do personal timelines, whatever the case may be. I think that would be a really good way to be able to live stream people.
What does that look like?
Just when people see that, well, we'd have to use vMix. And when people see that, we'll be able to, they're going to ask, they're going to see the recording and say, hey, are these group studies still taking place? I want to join, I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of this community.
So what exactly are we live streaming?
We're live streaming the afternoon studies.
Oh, so the Bible studies are recorded and then they're going to be...
No, they're live streamed.
Oh, okay. We didn't do that today, though.
No.
But we'll do that.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That way people see it. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And for those people that really want to be able to work for the Lord and have something to do for Him, I would encourage them, what we can do is we can go through our contacts and we can call friends, families, and people that may be spiritually minded. So some of the different contacts that we could bring or look through is, if you want to put contacts on there, this is a great place to go. So when we were teaching online Bible work over at the Missionary Training School in Oregon, do you remember what process we did, Christina?
Let's see if I do. We chose 10 people or more that were the warmest people that we could do Bible studies with, I believe.
No, where did we find? No, we didn't. It wasn't 10. We put together a big list of lots of people who we can contact. But where did we find those people?
On our Facebook friends list.
Our Facebook friends list was one place. Where else did we look?
On our phone.
On our phone contacts. Where else did we look?
I'm not sure. Contacts.
What about our email contacts?
Yeah.
And then some people who have Skype, they have Skype contacts.
Mm-hmm.
What we did is we went through a memory jogger. People, we were making a list of people that we could reach out to, and we were thinking about coworkers, classmates, church members, friends, family. We were looking for different people that may be interested. And what's nice about these Bible studies, they're really geared, it's not designed for the church members. These Bible studies will be so much more enjoyable when we bring people to them, when we attend the meetings with friends and family.
Yeah.
And so as we look through our contacts, we can think, who were the people that showed spiritual interest? Who do we know that is in a transition period of their life? They're in between jobs, they're in between, they're moving, especially people who just had a baby, especially the first baby. That really changes a family's life when they have a child. They become more, I find that the women become a lot more spiritual. They start thinking about things. We could just try to jog our memory of these types of people, because these studies are really geared for those who don't know these truths or haven't heard them or have never gone to a Revelation seminar or haven't gone to evangelistic series.
Yeah.
So what other ways will we be able to bring people?
Well, after after we were able to make our list, like personal appeals work best instead of bulk messaging. So one thing not to do is like bulk messaging to people. Sometimes some things like that work depending on your message, but you want to have like a personal relationship with a person. Because one of the things, like I've tried, with people that I haven't talked to for a while, either people that we haven't had that good of a connection over the years, and then suddenly I send them this message like, hey, join us for a Bible study. It's gonna be, you can tell them all the good stuff about it, and many times those people don't come because they don't have a personal relationship with you. So you want to be able to develop, like, there's people that I want to invite to the Bible studies, but as I was looking through my friends list on Facebook, phone contacts, I was like, you know what, this person, I think before I invite them to the Bible study, let me strengthen my relationship. Let me ask them, how are you? How's your family? What have you been up to? What's your job? And all these kind of things. And that's going to lead for you to bring them to the Bible study more successfully.
So how do you know what kind of conversations to talk about on that initial conversation to rekindle your friendship or get to know a person? Like, do you have like some sort of like a tool that you go through in your mind?
Yeah, it's called form. This is so important.
What is form?
Okay. Form. Oh, is it fort? I guess form, fort, they can both be similar. Yeah, I like form though. Form is an acronym. And the first one is family. And I'll explain it in just a moment. Family, occupation, recreation, like hobbies and stuff, and motivations. This is so neat. I love using this with people because whenever I meet new people or I want to rekindle a relationship, I go through form. And it's questions based like on family, like about their family, their occupation, what are their hobbies, what do they do for in their leisure time, recreation, and motivation, what motivates them. And you're going to know also by knowing recreation kind of like what motivates them. But asking questions, and one thing that goes super well with this is that if you truly want to create a strong relationship, you want to ask more questions and listen more.
So about what percentage should we be listening and what percentage should we be talking?
80% listening and 20% talking.
So the 80-20 rule applies here?
Yeah. And also, something that you can remember is another acronym whenever you're talking to somebody. It's question, answer, question.
Quack.
Yeah, question, answer, question, because you're asking questions like, to initiate a conversation, the person answers, ask another question. And just because you're doing that, like, you're gonna create the strongest relationship. Like, I've had conversations with people that I didn't know, and all I was doing is question, answer, question, and at the end of the conversation, it's like, whoa, you are such a brilliant person. Like, I really like you. We should talk more. Yeah. And I really trust you. And the only thing, I didn't give eloquent speeches to that person. I was just asking them questions. So if we truly want to develop a strong relationship, let's listen, because people need to be listened.
And on the flip side, I've had conversations where I've asked someone a question, they gave me an answer, and I was like, well, that's neat. And then our conversation ends. And then it's like, I want to talk to them, they want to talk to me, but it's like they don't know what to say, I don't know what to say, and then it's kind of like, well, what do we do now?
Uh-huh.
But learning that quack, that really helps to be like, once they ask a question, like you put together a document on asking questions. You said great leaders ask great questions. Like, interesting. Somewhere on there it said like any fool can ask a first question, but it takes real understanding to ask the follow-up question.
Questions.
It's that second question that intelligently responds based upon what they said. And in order to do that, you have to be genuinely interested in the other person.
Yeah.
So being able to switch that focus from trying to be interesting and talking 80% of the time to being genuinely interested.
Yeah.
And then that is asking questions 20% of the time.
And bonus with this, if you do this, this is one of the best ways to bring somebody to Bible study. Why? Because as you ask about family, occupation, recreation, motivation, you're going to be listening. You're going to be thinking, hey, what does this person need? Like, let's say the person's like, I have been going through a rough time. Like, I'm depressed. I really need some encouragement. And you see that. The more you talk to them, the more they're going to open up, the more questions you ask. They don't have to be intrusive. They just genuinely interested. The more they're going to open up and they're going to share with you. And once you know their pain points, that's how the most effectively you can bring them to a Bible study.
So what is an example of what a pain point would look like?
Okay, so let's say I'm talking to you, and maybe years back, and I'm talking to you, I'm asking, it's like, how are you doing, and how's your family?
I'm not doing very good, my family's upset.
It's upset. And you can ask us like, why is your family so upset? Or
because they just got a lot of stress.
All those stress. Does that also are you also stressed with your family?
No, I just don't care.
You don't care. You're making this conversation kind of hard. I don't even know how to respond.
You said to way back.
Yeah.
Tell me what I would have said.
Way back. Yeah, that's how you would respond. Well, hopefully. How would you respond to yourself?
How would I respond to yourself? I would ask, what do you care about?
Yeah, that's a good question. What do you care about?
And I'd probably say, I like the video games that I play. And I'd ask, why do you care about those? And I was like, well, it distracts my mind. It helps me, gives me something to think about. And it's kind of like, well, distracting your mind from what? It's like, well, I don't know. It just, I don't like, if I don't have it, then my mind kind of wanders. And then you might be able to be like, hey, at that point it's like, well, if I could show you a way that you could be able to live and not have to distract your mind, would you be interested in taking a look? And I'd probably say, yeah.
Does the board show over here too?
Yeah, it shows.
Okay. Should I do it in red? I want to write the if I would you.
Oh, okay.
Maybe just black. This question is like gold. Because now you've seen how in this conversation it's like, what do you care about? And the more you know, it's like, yeah, they're in pain. They really need something better. This person needs a purpose in their life. And once you know, it's like, if I could show you a way that, what did you say? That
you don't have to distract your mind.
Yeah, you don't have to distract your mind. Would you be interested in knowing about it? And that question, because you included right here in these blank spaces something that they really are struggling with, that is really deep into their hearts, and you connect that with like, hey, the way I could show you is like, hey, join family worship that we have every evening or morning, or join these Bible studies with encouraging people that they know their purpose in life, and they can encourage you as well. Like with that, just with those pain points right there, they're gonna be like, whoa, I can't miss an opportunity like that. But when we invite people to Bible studies or to any events that we're trying to promote, and we don't know what are they struggling with, we don't know what's going on in their lives, they're not going to see value in whatever you're sending them to. They're not going to come. And that's really amazing what happens once we know.
Yeah, I would say too that like one of the first people that I invited to a Bible study after I gave my heart to Christ it was a best friend of mine. I was talking to her on the phone after I gave my heart to Christ, and I was like, look, and this happened, that happened, and it was that enthusiasm. And she was just listening, she was hearing, she's like, wow, this is incredible. She's like, whoa. And she told me, she's like, I want what you have. Mm-hmm. It's like, give me, how can I have that? And I was like, well, have you invited Christ into your heart before? She's like, never. It's like, okay, well, tomorrow at school, let's meet in the library and we can, you can give your heart to Christ. I'll pray with you. And she's like, okay. So she met me over there. We read National Sunday Law together. And she really, it was an awakening that she went through. But what I realized, recently I've been reading this book. It was a book of evangelism. Oh, so powerful. My favorite Christian author. And she says in there that there was a bishop or there was some religious figure that was asking an actor, he's like, hey, let me ask you a question. Why is it that you actors on the stage have the attention of the people and are able to just grasp and retain that, but we in the pulpit have very little power? And the actor said, well, with all due respect, allow me to answer truthfully that we on the stage talk about things imaginary as if they were real, while you in the pulpit speak about things that are real as though they were imaginary. That's the right. Power lies in enthusiasm. That is so profound, because as a presenter, as an inviter, it really boils down to our enthusiasm, our passion, and our belief. Having that strong conviction really has a message. Later on, I found out that my friends, whenever Jehovah's Witness would come her way, she'd be rude to them. She'd smack the door on their face. She was an atheist. I had no idea. I had no idea I was talking to an atheist. I was just talking about something enthusiastically, and then she listened because of that enthusiasm. She's like, I want that. And so many times we underestimate our testimonies. But Revelation 12:11 says they overcame them by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. That's how we overcome Satan. And to the demoniacs that Jesus sent as the first missionaries to Decapolis, he told them, show what great things God has done for you. Can you also put passion down there? Enthusiasm, passion, and belief. These are three really important skills that we can develop. Now, what about this, Christina? What if I'm like, hey, Christina, there's like this it's a group Bible study thing that's going on I think it's Saturday, and do you think you would, you're kind of, I'm sure you're busy. Would you want to join me meet my friends?
It would be hard for me to come to something like that because I don't see the value in it. I'm like, this person is like, I don't really want that kind of energy in my life. I'm not really exemplifying something you want. No, we like to listen to people who have the results that we want. We want, exactly. So, but okay, what about this? Christina! I was just studying with like 20 people. They are on fire. They are studying. They're enjoying this. And we're learning about some of the most amazing things I have ever seen. You've got to come to the Bible study. Can you be available Saturday afternoon? Wow, yes. This sounds so good.
Oh, it is great. You are going to love it.
Is there young people there?
There's lots of young people. There's young and old. There's all sorts of places. People are coming from all around the world. You get to meet them. Come. I want you to meet my friends.
See, that sounds so much better. That for me, I'm like, that enthusiasm that he had, like, it just, like, transferred to me. You know, that's these things right here, enthusiasm, passion, and belief, are transferable. Whenever people don't have faith and like going to a Bible study, you can have faith for them, and they can really like actually go just because of how you feel.
Yeah, the book of Romans says, they that are strong must bear the infirmities of the weak.
Yes.
So it's like this. Paul said to Timothy, I have begotten thee through the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have these Bible study contacts, they're like little babes. They're babes in Christ. And so at first we need to spoon feed them. We need to give them, we need to have faith for them. And then that kind of like encourages them. Our testimony is powerful. And then as they learn how to crawl, then they'll learn how to walk, and soon they'll be walking on their own 2 feet, and they'll be able to strengthen the other little siblings that start coming along in the gospel.
Exactly. And that's beautiful. I really love watching that. So here I wrote testimonies with enthusiasm, passion, and belief. Now testimonies, you know, like on social media, whenever I share testimonies on what has been happening on the online church, has been happening on the evening and morning worships, what has been happening on the group Bible study, every time like Enoch, myself, or other people from our team do that, there's more people that are like, I want to come. Why? Because we post like a text, like a testimony, what happened, that enthusiasm. With a photo. Yeah, with a photo. And we post that testimony. It's like there was 20 plus people, and you know, you can still portray that enthusiasm, passion, and belief in your text. So by doing that, and maybe tag people that may be interested, or I'm not sure about yet. Maybe
tag people that are on your Facebook friends list, your phone contacts, email, Skype, any of those that you think may be interested, tag them in the invitation for sure.
Yeah. And then many times that we've got, like even Alita, she saw the post for morning and evening worship, and was like, I want to come. Always ask at the end of your post a question, because you want to engage a conversation. So after you post a post on your on a testimony of what you've experienced, online church, group Bible studies, morning worship, evening worship, ask them a question. It's like, you know, do you want to join us? Or there's other questions too.
As people comment on your post, that engagement pushes your post into the newsfeed of more of your friends. It increases its effectiveness in Facebook's algorithms, that they will promote your materials to more of your friends because they see that your content is keeping more people on Facebook. So people who like and comment and engage, the more that they do that, your friends will see more of your posts. So you want to ask that question so that they do respond. And those posting those testimonies are powerful. One of what Facebook likes to promote the most are live videos. So if you could go live, sometimes that could be a little intimidating, but honestly, if you go live with a testimony with like a 5-minute, 10-minute recap of what you learned, and you bring that enthusiasm, passion, that belief, then the Holy Spirit is able to translate that to help the person to hear just what they need to hear. And the live videos go far. But what I would say is the most effective. It's that personal appeal, that follow-up. Because once you do a post invite, there's some people that like your comment or like your status or comment on your status. You can even ask a question or make a statement, hey, like my status, or react to my status if you'd like to join me. And then the people that react, you can see, I need to reach out to them personally on Messenger. They're interested, but they're not contacting me. They're just engaging with my post. So whether they say yes or no, if they engage with my post, I will always send them a direct message and say, hey, I noticed you commented, or I noticed you reacted to a heart to this post. If I sent you a link to join, would you be interested in joining me next week?
Right there.
It's really, really powerful. The key is the follow-up and that personal appeal. Personal appeals are tenfold more effective than public appeals.
Yeah. Follow up every time you post anything on Facebook. a live video, anything, follow up with those people. Whenever you see likes or things like that, just follow up with them. They're going to feel wanted, needed. And that's what people need. It's really to feel that way.
Amen.
So, one thing that I forgot, and we're going to wrap up here very soon, is another thing that I found the best results on this. Do you have any prayer request? Or, no.
Oh, yeah.
Or, what can I pray for? I think, let me change that. Because whenever you ask them, do you have any prayer request? They can tell you, no, that's okay.
Yeah, that's a closed-ended question.
Yeah, but if you actually go to them, like, assuming that they have, because everybody has prayer requests. If you go to them, like, assuming,
Bible workers
what
are
are your
very
prayers?
assumptive in their approach.
Yeah, we want to be assumptive, because you pour belief. That's one way that you pour belief in them, and confidence. So it's like, what can I pray for? You know?
It's like, how can I pray for you?
Yeah, well, how can I pray for you? I don't want to use my finger. Yeah, and that, every time you want to connect with people, ask that question. If you want to know their pain points, that's why, of course, we're genuinely interested to pray for them and to help them. But when they say, pray for me, I'm really struggling with my health or with my children, I'm trying to teach them in the ways of God. Just that prayer request, you're going to know what are their pain points very soon, very fast.
It's like you're at the door. This is what we would do when we do personal ministries locally through the communities. We'd send out the Bible workers. The first thing that we would do is we'd say, hey, take prayer requests for the community. And we go to the door and we say, hey, we're over with this church over here. We're with this organization. We're taking prayer requests. We believe in prayer and we want to pray for the community. And we'd like to know, what can we pray for you? And they're like, oh, pray for my son this, pray for my aunt that. And then their heart is, some people are like, at first they're at the door and they're all squinting at you like, what are you here for? It's like, well, we would like to take prayer requests. They're like, what? It's like, you're just praying for the community? Yeah? Oh, wow. Then, yeah, pray for this, that, and the other. It's like, thank you so much for what you guys are doing. Mm-hmm. And I've had amazing conversations that way. And then when we go back the next week, we say, hey, I was praying for your aunts, or I was praying for your brother. And you write down their name and actually pray for them throughout the week.
Follow up with those prayers.
Follow through with those prayers.
Yes.
And then when you go to them at the door and say, I was praying for Jesse. How is he doing? Is he out of the hospital now? And they're like, oh, you remember. Thank you so much. He's feeling better. His leg is fixed. And, oh, God answered your prayers.
Yeah.
And once they see that, they want to know more about what you have to offer.
Yeah.
And that's usually when we give them a Bible study or invite them to one.
Mm-hmm.
And so we may not be going like door to door, but we're going house to house, screen to screen, phone to phone. When we are sending them notifications, when we're calling them on the phone, our voice is being heard in their house. So we are going house to house, and as we take prayer requests, it really melts the hearts of the people. It is beautiful.
It does.
You can also do that if you haven't been using Quack and your conversation is dead or dies.
Mm-hmm.
A great way to revive it is, hey, do you have any prayer requests? How can I pray for you?
Yeah, prayer requests. So yeah, these are some of the things that you can do. It's so easy to become an instrument of God in social media, in your personal relationship with people, and on the streets, your friends. So remember, live streams are great to share those live streams that we have been doing with the Bible studies, with worship. Contacts. I would encourage each of you, go through your contacts, build a list of people or like friends list from Facebook, phone contacts, email contacts, Skype contacts, and let's start talking to them. Because God has given you this sphere of influence that you can reach out to and you can bless them. And I know each of them need something that you have to offer. And testimonies, start sharing testimonies, because that's going to create curiosity in people. That's going to create like, hey, I want what they have. And remember, be enthusiastic. Jesus was so always enthusiastic, passion and belief. and be assumptive. Don't ask them like, I know you're busy, or I don't know if you want to come. No, think like they already said yes. Every time you talk to people, think like they already said yes. But of course, remember to keep it balanced so that you're not like very pushy, like, no, you have to do this. And then personal appeals. Remember to follow up with all these people. And how can I pray for you? Form, asking those questions. And if I, would you? That's kind of like one of the last questions that you can ask.
That's right. So this video has been how to bring people to Bible studies. And if this hasn't given you ideas, or let us know in the comment section what ideas you have enjoyed the most and what you plan on applying next and how you would like to put this into practice. We are looking forward to working with you. We are so thankful we get to co-labor together in the Lord's vineyard, and ministry is a blessing and a privilege, not an entitlement. This is such a privilege that we have to invite other people to hear the last message of mercy given to a perishing world.
Goodbye, everybody.